There once lived a girl who was the oldest in a large family of children. Her parents were struggling to make ends meet, and they didn't know how they were going to survive. One night, a large polar bear appeared at their door. To their surprise, he spoke to them, asking if their eldest daughter would accompany him to his castle. The bear looked kind, and he promised that if the daughter would come with him, then all would be well for her family. Hesitantly, the family decided to let the girl go, and she eagerly climbed on his back and rode away to a magical castle where he lived. It was beautiful, full of lovely things, and had everything the girl could ever want or desire. The strange thing was that every night, a visitor would appear in her bed. She lit the candles to see that it was a beautiful prince who had come to her bed. The girl looked at the prince and immediately fell in love with him. She thought he was the most beautiful young man she had ever seen, and her heart became his in that moment. Unfortunately, some drops of wax from the candle fell on the prince's shirt, startling him awake. When the prince realized what had happened, he was undone with grief. Painfully, he told the girl that he had been put under a spell by a wicked stepmother who had wanted to force him to marry her daughter, a troll. As punishment, she cast a spell on him, which caused him to be a bear by day and return to his form as a man by night. To break the spell, a girl had to live with him for a year and a day. If she fell in love with him by the end of that time, the spell would be broken. But there was one condition. The girl was not allowed to see the bear's true form as a prince until the end of the year. Now that the prince's secret was out, he would have to go to the castle east of the sun and west of the moon to marry the troll. Through tears, the girl pleaded with him, asking him where this castle might be. He told her she could not follow him there, and that he would have to leave first thing in the morning. The next day, when the girl woke up, the enchanted castle and the prince were gone. Determined out of love to find him, she traveled far and wide, asking everyone she met for information about where this castle might be that lay east of the sun and west of the moon. She meets some fantastical characters who give her magical objects, and is eventually taken to the castle by the north wind. Upon arriving, the girl bargains with the troll and is eventually able to see the prince and tell him that she still loves him. The prince devises a plan and comes up with a contest for her and the troll. Taking a shirt covered in candle wax, he proposes a challenge. Whichever girl can clean the shirt will be the one he marries. The troll daughter is unable to clean the shirt, however the girl is able to clean it, making it as pure white as the polar bear's fur. In their fury, the troll daughter and her mother crumble into pieces, leaving the prince and the girl to free other prisoners the troll and her mother had captured. They were married and got to spend the rest of their lives together. My winter walk with Bear today reminded me of this story. I've been trying to draw a lot of inspiration from stories and nature, for I'm finding myself feeling a little dry after the Christmas rush, trying to find new things that I'd like to paint in this bleak period of winter. Stories like that stoke my imagination and get me excited about the world, helping me to see it in new ways and come up with fresh ideas for my art. Some of you have requested an overview of my watercolor brushes, and instead of going through the entire collection, I thought I would just focus on a few of my favorites. These are the brushes that, if I could only choose a handful, I would definitely not want to live without. Each of these brushes has its own individual strength. So the oval wash is great for skies. Most people use flat washes for covering large areas, and those are great, but I love the oval wash because it can do what a flat wash does, but it's also got a fine point so that I can get some more unusual cloud shapes, if you will. It's a very soft brush. Princeton Neptune brushes are incredibly thirsty and great for wet washes or holding lots of pigment. This Tintoretto mop, a size 0, is great for lifting color or blending. It's incredibly soft as well. It doesn't hold as much pigment, I've noticed, but it is a very thirsty brush. So if you're doing a wet wash, it's great for that. And I almost always have it whenever I'm doing a painting for at least the underlayer or softening some hard edges. A new favorite are the Princeton Velvet Touch long round brushes. They're the perfect balance between a thirsty brush and a drier brush, so they're great for almost anything you'd like to paint. But what I love about them is that they have a super fine point, so I get the benefits of having a round, but also being able to get really fine details when I need to. Here lately, I have been using either one or both in every single painting. They're my new favorites. I absolutely love them. If I was going to travel and take just one or two brushes, one of these would definitely be in my kit. The last brush in this set of 5 is a ProArte Prolene size 2/10 brush. It's a super fine detail brush that I originally got for doing 4-edge paintings, but I love it for extra fine details like these figures here. I'd like to try more in this collection. I've heard really great things about these brushes. Because they're so fine, it's hard for me to get a great idea of how the fibers or how the hairs work and how much pigment they pick up. But I will say that for these detail brushes, they are excellent. They're everything I could want in a detail brush. Super fine, don't pick up too much water and leave blobs or bleed. They're excellent. I would highly recommend them if you need detail brushes. Obviously, I have more brushes than these, but those are my absolute favorites. If you'd like to see more of my brush collection, I'd be happy to show you. Wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely day or night, and if it's cold, try to stay warm if you can and enjoy some cozy moments indoors. I will see you next time. Bye.